It's kind of the island of misfit toys here in MLW. How do you enjoy it?
Well, I'm the original misfit toy myself, so I'm enjoying it. It's not hard to get along with people in the wrestling business for me because I've been around them for 40 years. It's just sometimes the corporate environments that these guys don't take too well to, but that's the reason why the people pay to see them and like to watch them on television, because they're not CPAs that you can see walking down the street everywhere. So I fit right in. I'm the original Slinky of the Island of Misfit Toys.
It's funny when they announced that you were coming on board. I'm like, gosh, some of the guys that are in this promotion are guys that Jim hasn't said some nice things about and stuff like that. But with your reputation and your history of this business,
well, that's one of the things that they told me they wanted me to do was call it like I saw it. And a lot of people made a big rise. Wow, he hates everybody there. I haven't come across a single person that I hate. There's a couple people I've said some things about, and I think they actually probably believe they deserve it. Maybe that Sami Callihan fella. I'm waiting for Sami Callihan to impress upon me that he's a wrestler instead of a freak show that wants to go viral all the time. He's been reckless and dangerous, not only with himself. That's fine if you want to hospitalize yourself, but when you're hospitalizing other people just to get publicity, I think that takes a sport too far, even a sport as wild as wrestling. It's still a profession, and these guys have to make a living. So, but otherwise, everybody has welcomed me with open arms. And of course, the MLW League officials welcomed me with an open checkbook. So that's another thing.
Many different types of styles in this promotion too. How have you found it so far? To kind of adapt to kind of.
I had to brush up on my lucha, and I was watching lucha tapes back in the '80s, so I have a knowledge of the history and the general flavor of lucha libre. I hadn't been up to date on it, but I'm trying, and I've got my commentating cohort Rich Bikini to help me through that. But with the other guys, whether they're ground-based grapplers, whether they're Striker Filthy Tom Lawler, I'm a UFC fan. I knew already of his background. Dan the Beast Severn is going to be here tomorrow night. I've managed him in the past, and also he's the only UFC Triple Crown winner in history. So a lot of these guys, whether it's high flying or whether it's grappling or British-based mat wrestling, in the world of sport style, whatever, I can adapt to those things, and I'm trying to hitch up to the lucha train because it's a cultural phenomenon in their home country. I want to be able to do them justice.
And you're a fan. You followed everything for your whole.
Well, yeah. The only reason I'm doing this now is because I was a fan from the time I was 9 years old, and I just never got out of it. I never grew out of it. I'm still a 9-year-old at heart.
Well, New York is happy to have you this weekend. I don't know if you're happy to have New York. But,
I'll tell you, they've lined the streets. As a matter of fact, they've come out on the streets in their cars to block my passage everywhere. Now, New York's a little hectic for me, especially at my advanced age. I'm so old. When I was in school, they didn't have history. But I enjoy the fans. It's a little bit hectic for my country taste.